Eastern Illinois is a really difficult team to prepare for because they're non-traditional. It used to be back 10 years ago that everybody ran motion offense, but they have a unique offense now because they run a motion offense where most of their screens are being set off the ball rather than on the ball. So trying to get your team prepared for all the screens that happen, down screens, up screens, flare screens, re-screens. It's just something that it's hard to prepare for in such a short amount of time. So I thought our guys' attention to detail on the defensive end, extending down screens, jumping to the basketball, calling out flares, opening up, rotating to the basketball. I just thought they were really sharp at the beginning of the game. We had a couple mistakes there because we thought that it was really important that Goodwin and Smith not even get three-point attempts. They average about 7 three-point attempts per game. We wanted to hold them to 3. And I said that those 3 three-point attempts that they get, they need to be shots where we made them bounce the basketball and shots where it ends up being a bad shot because of our attention to detail, making those guys take away threes. The other part of it, I was proud of our guys, is just look, the thing that we really struggled with in the past few games is defending and rebounding. They only got 2 points on second chance points, only 4 offensive rebounds. And then for us to win a game where we shoot 37% in the second half usually doesn't happen because we try to live through our offense. And then the way we responded once we got punched in the mouth there at the beginning of the second half, we lost our energy, we lost our flying around, our activity on the ball. For our guys to come back and hold them off after that tremendous start that they had, was really proud of the way our guys responded after that.
Well, Darius Brewer, 34 points, and I mean, early on, I mean, you see the range, you see some of that potential. Just from bouncing back from that UT Martin game, I mean, he was 0-7 from three-point range, and it just seemed like he couldn't miss tonight. I mean, walk me through kind of what you saw from him.
Well, we have individual meetings, and the 3 games prior to that, he was 3 of 18 from the three-point line, but he was shooting 79% from twos. So I told him before the UT Martin game, you need to concentrate on getting twos because he's shooting almost 80% on twos. So what does he do? The first 25 minutes of the UT Martin game, 0-7 from the three-point line. So he really paid attention to me in those individual meetings. But he was 7-7 from twos in the UT Martin game. So we just want him to attack the rim more because he's such a dynamic finisher once he gets the ball around the rim. And so, like we said, the three-pointers, now that becomes like cake. That's the icing on the cake right there for him. But he can jump up and knock those down. He's able to shoot over the top of people because of his length. So he's a good player. I mean, I told him if he'd have shot a decent percentage from the free throw line, he might have had 40 points.
Yeah, and just in that first half, I mean, it seemed like the whole team was shooting the ball well. What do you feel like that was sort of a factor for him? I mean, how do you it was a 21-point lead at one point there, and I know they kind of cut it close there towards the end of the second half or first half. And what do you feel like was sort of the reason that offense was able to click so much?
Well, it's simple for us. They are a really good defensive team. They're 4th in the OVC in scoring defense, but more importantly, they're 1st in the OVC in block shots. So I thought like a lot of times when you get the ball in the paint against them on the first paint attack, it's probably going to be a difficult layup attempt, or you're going to get your shot blocked. So we want to kick the ball out after the first paint attack. And I said that second paint attack, you'll have a layup that's not difficult or a wide open 3. So I thought our guys did a really good job of paying attention to the scouting report and not taking those difficult attempts on the first paint attack. And we really moved the ball around and got some wide open shots because of our willingness to share the basketball.
And you coached a lot of games, Coach. That end of that first half is a 10-4 swing. It seemed really subtle, but I mean, it just carried over into the second half. I think it was 14-0 and they get within a point. Did you see a lot of the same things you saw towards the end of that second half, and what were they?
Yeah, the end of the second half and the beginning of the first half, the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, I thought that we played to score. And we got away from the things that got us that 20-point lead, that 18-point lead. Simply because we were flying around on the defensive end. We had so many deflections in that first half at the beginning of the game because we were really jumping to the basketball and being active on the ball. And I thought we lost that. And I just thought at the end of the first half especially, we just got so excited and were trying to do things. They were unforced turnovers where we were traveling, the ball flying out of our hands. We're just trying to play too fast and hit home runs instead of hitting singles. So I just wanted us to calm down on the offensive end and get back to flying around on the defensive end.
The foul trouble too. There was a little bit of foul trouble in that first half. I think you guys had 10 fouls and 5 guys with 2 fouls. And how did that sort of dictate what you guys did and kind of moving forward?
Yeah, I thought we did a really poor job of playing off number 1 Jackson and number 5 Crossland. I think our guys, when they say that they're drivers, they play off of them. And so now those guys are able to size us up and just come downhill on us. And I told them, hey, you still got to guard the guy. And so I thought they were way too comfortable with those guys driving the basketball. By the time we got them stopped, they were in the paint and then we were fouling them. So we just need to be up on their drivers more.
It's 61-61 when Max Smith hits that shot towards the end of the shot clock, and it was like almost half court, it seemed like. And you guys' response was really good there, though, in terms of not letting them ever take the lead. Milos hits a big 3, and I think he drove in even, had a free throw. But yeah, walk me through kind of how encouraged were you, though, by that response after they tied the game there?
Well, first of all, to me, I think there was 2 seconds on the shot clock when they hit that. And our whole defense, and first of all, we call it money defense. So when the shot clock is 10 seconds below, you have to make people bounce the basketball. But the scouting report on Smith and Goodwin is no matter what, you have to make a bounce the ball. So if he makes a 30-footer, don't be surprised because he has that sort of range. But I thought Milos was terrific, and he's really been struggling. And I thought he's been trying to do things that he can't do. And I thought what he did was he went out and did the things that he's capable of doing. He didn't mess around with the basketball. He had some terrific drives where they were straight line drives. But I just told him, you don't want to end your senior year like without emptying the tank. You know, just give everything that you have. And I thought that he did that for us. And I think he played 23 minutes. But you don't see what shows in the stat book about how active he was as far as like plugging gaps, being there for guys when guys make mistakes. When guys were driving the basketball, you know, covering up other guys' mistakes on back cuts and things like that. So I just thought that he had a tremendous game. And I thought Mark Leros did the same thing for us. You know, you look at his box score and you say, what did he do besides get defensive rebounds? But I just thought he did a tremendous job with his ball screen defense and help side defense. I thought Carpenter was a great helper and got 6 defensive rebounds for us. So I just thought we were really doing a good job of those guys that were not guarding the main guys, did a great job of being there for help.
I know you talked about them being a good shot blocking team, and Musa Dama really asserted himself. It seemed like you got Jonathan was getting into the paint and then just absolutely having forced to kick it out. But what was sort of on the defensive end and guarding him? He got to the free throw line for sure, and then he eventually fouled out of the game. But to get him in, the situation, I guess, what was sort of the defense on him? It seemed like you guys were doubling him up a lot.
Yeah, well, I think that they do such a good job once the ball goes into the post. They continue screening. And so they kill people on weak side with all the screening action when the ball goes into the post. So I thought that we needed to double the post when it went in so we could take away the vision from that guy, because I think they're excellent passers when the ball got into the post. And what they want to do, first of all, is they want to hit people on slips and wide open threes, and then they try to score. So we wanted to take away them being comfortable and take away that vision by trapping. I thought in the first half our traps were really poor. They split us. They could see. But I thought in the second half we were there. We arrived with the ball, and we caused problems for those guys where they couldn't make those easy passes.
Well, Coach, this is 3 wins where you guys have played solid portions for sure of games. What do you feel like has sort of been the connecting factor in allowing you guys to sort of get over the hump there in these 3 games?
Well, I think our team concentrates on the wrong things. And this is what we've been talking about, is just like positive energy. You know, we showed our guys our body language. Somebody didn't pass them the ball, so they throw their hands up or they twirl around. Now they're not back on defense. And so you extending that negative energy now costs us points on the other end. So I just think for us, we've been doing a lot of team bonding things off the court, showing our guys those things, talking to our guys in practice about positive energy. We tape our practices. We show our guys anything time they do something negative. You know, we just got to be more for each other and not worry about those things, because let them take care of itself. And you know, is it paying dividends? I don't know. But for us, we're so good offensively. that if we just like share the basketball and don't concentrate on those things and concentrate and use our energy on the defensive end, then we're going to be fine. And I told them also, I'm just going to start taking guys out. I know we have a short bench, but if they can't handle the rotations and substitution patterns when we only have 9 guys, what are they going to do when we have 15?
Right.
You know, so we've got to concentrate on those things so we can learn from it and have positive body language and just concentrate on the things that matter. Like you twirling around, you throwing your hands up, you complaining about not getting the ball on the one more. What good does that do? You know, you got to get back on defense. Let's expend our energy on defense rather than showing that negative body language.
You mentioned the short bench. Ray was out. Can you give me an update on him? And then Isaiah, well, I saw him warming up a little bit. Is he shut down? Or?
Yeah, no, Isaiah's been cleared now. It's just all about, like, what can we do in these 3 games? And we want to be smart for him.
Right.
So if he's able to come back and there's 0 threat of him re-injuring, or if he shows the ability to get back in shape and do all those things in these 3 games, we'll put him out there. But we're obviously going to err on the side of caution. It's just a shame that he got hurt after that medical redshirt opportunity was over with because he's played in too many games.
How many games did he miss? I mean, I wasn't even sure.
Oh, I have no idea.
He missed 11 straight.
11 straight?
Yeah. And then with Ray, Ray has back spasms, muscle spasms in his back. So it's nothing structurally that's wrong, like a vertebrae or anything like that at all. So it's going to be a game time decision as well. He got out there and tried to do some things and wasn't able to do it. So he felt like he was going to hurt the team more than help the team. So we didn't play him. So he could be good and ready to go come Saturday. He cannot be ready to go on Saturday. So it's going to be a wait and see if we can get that muscle spasm taken care of.
Thanks, Coach.